Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. So for a recap, during the last time we met Grandma, we had to save her in the end because she was going to be, silenced. But no, it's alright. We also met a nice Sarkaz. We rescued Granny in the end, and then Granny and Face became besties again. Family reunion, adorable. On another side, the school side is kind of sus right now. There's an imposter among us. Poor Molly, she was replaced. And then we also got to meet Shining's family. They had a nice, totally quote-unquote nice family dinner as one do. But I have no fears regarding the story right now. We're all good, we're prepared. We know more or less where those hidden areas are, thanks to Granny. And how CC treating me, I did not even try it yet. Just like, you know what, I can procrastinate for that. It's all good. Just like I'm procrastinating with 2 projects due this week, ha ha ha. But no, it's all good. So 11-11, what we know is unalike. Man, dog, at least one of the days this weekend I gotta catch up on a little bit of rest. Kinda oof. Hopefully I have time to rest. Not 7, bleh, I can't even read. 9:37 a.m. overcast. Near the City Defense Force main command tower, Osterig district of Londinium. All Rhodes Island Spec Ops team Amiya hands. As per our plan, we will work with the Self-Salvation Corps and launch an ambush on the Londinium Defense Force's command tower. We have only one objective: obtain the message logs from the defense system about the Sarkaz supply line. These messages will determine the success or failure of our entire Londinium operation. And that's even if we most likely can no longer stop Theresis from declaring war on the Dukes. But if we get our hands on this invitation, we'll have a chance to slow the pace of the war and reduce the sacrifices that come with it to a minimum. We may have come well prepared, but we need to expect the unexpected. All of us know in our hearts, in the coming war, each battle will be more difficult than the last. But we came all this way for the same unshakable goal. It's time to keep going. Okay, let's go, Mia. We got this, bestie. Doctor. Amiya, we have another emergency in our hands. I'm hungry. Another Sarkaz King might appear on the battlefield. Doctor, I know you're worried about me. I can't say for sure that I'm ready, but ever since we left Sudayan, I've been thinking what it will be like to see her again. Wait, what do I think? I think there's no fear based on what happened in the story last time. Yeah, we're all good. We're more or less prepared to troll Theresis. I feel like there's nothing that could go wrong, maybe, hopefully. If she stands opposite to us, I want to know why. I want to feel everything that she feels. But just as I told the operators, I will never forget why we came here in the first place. I understand very well that the future of the Sarkaz and the whole world that Teresa hoped for is slipping further and further away. It's exactly the future that I, Dr. Kelsey, and all the operators who came to Londinium with us hope for. For that, we are prepared to face anything, and we will fight each battle like it is our last. Let's move then. Right, Doctor, let's go. Okay, away we go.
The Sarkaz army has been quick to mobilize lately. Yes, Lieutenant Colonel. Everyone has been saying what? They've been saying that the Sarkaz are going to strike the Duke's forces soon. When that happens, they will throw us onto the battlefield as their cannon fodder. My apologies, Lieutenant Colonel. I've spoken out of turn. No, I don't blame you. We all trust you, sir. We all know how difficult it is to negotiate with the Sarkaz, but you've done it. All these years, it was you who kept us safe. Even the time the Duke of Stafford revolted, it wasn't for how accurate your judgment was. If it wasn't for how accurate your judgment was, I would have been killed long ago by the rebels' cannon fire. You saved us time and time again, and you protected the city from all sorts of conspiracies. As long as you're behind the decision, not one of us will question it.
Wow! They truly believe in him. That's amazing.
I know that.
And wait, there was another message? What?
It's precisely because I know that. What's that sound in the street down there? It's the cargo track. They must be transporting construction material for the Sarkaz. On guard! What's going on? Good morning. Wait, where did all these men come from? Save your breath, unless you're willing to cough up the coin. Mercenaries, who sent you? Which duke?
We don't know any dukes, and they certainly wouldn't know us.
Are you the rebels?
We're the Londinium Citizens Self-Salvation Corps.
Salvation Corps.
You know what this is about. You should have been the ones fighting the Sarkaz, but you chose to raise the white flag. They left us no choice but to rise up ourselves.
Hold your ground! Don't let them into the tower!
Soldier, you're Victorian, aren't you?
I am.
20,000 Defense Forces men are stationed across the city. Aside from those who were killed or captured, every last one of them is bound to the land that they stand on by the same order, becoming an accessory to Sarkaz crimes. There is no way you are not aware that the Sarkaz will soon be launching a war on all of Victoria. When that time comes, will you still stand with the Sarkaz against your own friends and family? Perhaps all you want is to survive, but you are not a Sarkaz. You will never truly earn their trust. Once the war begins in earnest, they could abandon you at any moment. I can see your hesitation. In the end, you're only footmen. It is the man who gives your orders, not you, who we must confront. So stand aside.
Do not give ground, not one of you. We will hold the line here. We are soldiers. We trust our commander. We must follow our orders. Lieutenant Colonel, the enemy is attacking the defensive line. No idea where or how they came, all of a sudden. Even if they snuck along the cargo track and managed to slip past the Sarkaz checkpoints on the surface, there's no way they could have gotten through the tower surveillance system. Unless someone hacked the system and took down all the sentinels within a very short period of time. But that's impossible.
What? Oh! I was like, Lieutenant Colonel, did you just stab your man? But no, it's her.
Nothing is impossible.
A shadow flies toward him. He can smell the scent of death, unlike the sense of vicious suffocation he felt before the sanguinarch of vampires. He knows he will die a quick and relatively painless death, which is why he chose not to pointlessly attempt a dodge.
Out of my way!
Oh, look, it's Manfred.
Rhodes Island. So you've come after all. Ascalon, how long has it been? 9 days ago when you barged into West Haleg. Were you also prepared to brandish the weapon the general bestowed upon you directly at him, as you are doing now? Yes. And unlike you, I will not hesitate.
Ascalon is so cool. I like her. I wish I could summon her. She'd be great on my team. Just to stare at. Like, I know it's kind of creepy, but that's how I feel. I will not deny myself. And shoot, I gotta decide how I want to defend now.
This be fine. I shall believe, the power of believing.
And I will put him here, yes indeed. I can see your message that you just sent, but anything before that...
I'm not sure how many you sent though, that's the thing. That's kind of a oof if it's acting up.
But yeah, I can see this one that you just sent. Okay, yeah. Why would it be blocked though? Or not sent?
And oh no!
Those things hurt. Okay, let's just put a healer down. Healer good.
You know, being healthy is nice.
I too want to be healthy sometimes. Oh, that's annoying. It's all good. Plus, Susie can get him. Yeah, this be fine. Totally. Totally fine. No fear, no fear. There's no fear. There's never fear. No fear, for Susie is here. Aw, cute. They have a little tank. That's adorable. Okay, go get him. Yeah, this is working out nicely. Real nicely. Thank you, Susie. Not too many enemies left, which I appreciate. This be fine, totally fine. Just gotta wait for those spinny discs to get closer. And done. Yay. I'm just waiting to fight another one of those eating things. Those eaters are probably gonna be the annoying enemy. But it's alright. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Oh, there's the trees. Those are the eaters. Well, I did ask for this. This is my fault in this case. Yeah, my bad. That's what I get for asking for an eater. True, I can beat them, which is good. Plus, they have redeployable people, so I can just have them here like, yes, just have fun. Have fun, Texas and Yato. Good luck. They'll be fine, I believe in them. Oh, I should bring out a healer soon, you know, that'd be smart. I say as I don't bring out a healer because I am too tempted for... No. I will. Too bad. Resistance is futile. No, he cannot reach. But she can reach. Oh, yep, the thing happened. Just for the funsies and putting Monster there. That worked out. Sorry, Monster, you're just there to get bullied. My bad, Monster. I am the true monster in the end. But Chen got this. She's the greatest. See, look at her being amazing. As one does. And oh no, Susie's suffering. I gotta bring out a healer. Susie, I'm sorry. And now she's all good. Huh. Because, yeah, I just saw that. The message you just put down. Like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm hoping that Mr. Red will be easy then. Like, he won't go as hard as he probably could because His bestie Susie's here. He'll go rushing in, then he'll see Susie's face and be like, oh no, I can't do it. It's like, fine, you know, you can get my rewards. Only you, Susie, and then he destroys everyone besides her. Which I'd be fine with. To an extent. Let me use your skill, dude. Okay, there. Nope. Yay. We're here. This path connects the palace and the ducal manor. Golden Mane. What did you just say, Vina? No, it's nothing. It's been a long time since I saw them. Not long ago, we left this place. Today, we walk these ancient bricks again. This path has likely never been trodden this frequently. It was only meant for emergencies. Too bad. Be it the ducal manor or the palace, it has never really served anyone in their time of need. Mercenary? If you don't want to buy everyone here a drink, you'd better not joke about that. Right then. Allerdale, you said I once came back through this passage with the Sigh of Kings. I really don't remember that. This has me very restless. It's as though I am purposely avoiding a great responsibility. Vina, it's okay. You were too young then. Anyone who tried to force any kind of responsibility onto a kid that had only just learned to speak would have to be extraordinarily selfish. No mistake about it. Apologies. I might have insulted someone close to you. Actually, I rather agree with what you said. But now, we've come back nonetheless. Responsibility? Miracles? I have no idea what they expected of me, nor do I really care. Yeah, I'm fine. Like, Allerdale, she seems cool. She seems trustworthy. She brought in Totter, and Totter's a cool dude. But I stand here today, and I have something I must accomplish. I shan't take on any titles because of it. I'm doing this so that the people will know peace again. Huh. We are approaching our objective then. Sirs, please tear down the brick wall blocking the path up ahead. Be quiet. Don't let them find us. We need to go down from here. Right, As I walk through the darkness, I hear footsteps from behind me. Golden Mane. What's the matter, Vina? Never mind. Let's keep going. I do miss Allerdale's maid, She was cool. No one on our tail. The Sarkas couldn't have figured we would go down. They must be throwing quite the party above us. It's possible that our allies are sacrificing their lives in this intensive battle. I was actually apprehensive when Allerdale proposed his plan. I should be standing with the Courteous fighters and the Rhodes Islanders. The Doctor's plan is meant to ensure our operation remains undetected. No matter what happens above ground, we must get our hands on the Sighs of Kings. It is the key to foiling the Sarkas's plans, and can even turn the tide of the war. This sword! I've only heard of it in the stories. It was a sword of the Aslan forefathers. As the legend goes, it was forged for the Aslans by the Fairy of the Grasslands. A Pasha of yore once beheaded the Portuguese king with it. Then, the Aslans came to Victoria to rule, and it became the symbol of their reign. According to some historical records, in the days before the nomadic cities came to be, the kings once cleaved catastrophes with it. For centuries, there was not a single storm to threaten Londinium. The masses believed that as long as the Sigh of Kings remains, Londinium would overcome all of her foes, be they powerful Portuguese or terrifying catastrophes. You can't really believe. I do. I believe in Vina. It's like you're trying to change the subject. Of course I believe in Vina too, but you can tell right away that it's just a fairy tale that's not real.
That is in fact not a fabrication to legitimize the Aslan's reign. It really can cleave catastrophes. If the shard, with its ability to pull in storms, is Victoria's spear against the outside world, then the Sigh of Kings, capable of rending catastrophes asunder, is its strongest shield. The spear is known far and wide, yet the shield exists almost only in legend. But if we are able to wield this power, we will almost certainly be able to stop the Sarkaz's ambitions. Allerdale, you're very familiar with our realm blade. I'm only fulfilling my responsibilities as a member of the House Cumberland. Have you seen the blade with your own eyes? Yes, but only once. What I saw was something that could only happen in a dream.
But yo, it truly is meant to be. Especially when you think of one of Artoria's titles in Fate. She is the Lion King after all. Ha ha ha.
What did the blade look like? It was beautiful. It has the power to liven one's heart. The moment you lay your eyes on it, you'll believe from the pit of your soul that you can triumph over anything. A bit over the top in it. Legends. Maybe that's about the Sarkaz. Is that sword especially good at cutting Sarkaz? Is cutting all you think about? If Vina had beaten the Sanguinarch bloody with her hammer the other day, it'd have a story like that in 200 years. That just might happen. Then Rhodes Island will become the fairy that bestowed the hammer. Closure will probably be happy about that. The Ark of God in the Barrenlands, the return of the king. How's that story? It's all real. In 20 years, a story of the great King Vina, leading the Londiniers to chase out the King of Sarkaz, is bound to become a favorite story of all the kids that run around in front of our houses. Then I've got to spend some time thinking how to better tell Vina's story. This ain't my story. The bold, fearless Hannah Indra Jackson, the witty Kate Morgan, and the loyal, tenacious Isabel Montague. Also, the noble, upright Allerdale Cumberland. This is your story. Huh. Let's keep going. The story isn't going to write itself.
Oh gosh, what is that? Kaingassi cat? Something like that. Kaingassi cat, the size of kings. In her heart, Siege thinks to herself that she must have seen it before. They are only vague fragments of memories and unclear voices. Flashback.
My daughter, take this sword. Is it calling to you? Feel it. Feel its voice. Feel Victoria.
Why are always the ancient weapons so powerful? Ancient weapons tend to be super duper OP compared to modern day ones. It's like, oof, our technology must have gotten really bad at one point. The palace is burning. She wants to climb up and see what kind of show they are putting on outside. Things are always very lively on the king's birthday. But all she sees is the fire. The fire rages. There are also many men in uniform, either fleeing in all directions away from the flames or lying lifelessly on the ground. The earth trembles. She's suddenly worried about the glass file base by her bed. It's a gift that she has just received. Lately, she hasn't been able to sleep without hugging that delicate little trinket.
Her Royal Highness Alexandrina. Don't go back, it's dangerous. Thank goodness you ran outside. You're their only objective, aside from His Majesty. His Majesty has... No, you needn't know this. He left us with one final order, to get you away. Vina, what's wrong? You've been rather out of it since we came underground. I remembered something. Something that I thought I'd forgotten long ago. The kind that hurts to remember, or the kind that brings you joy. It's just a voice. Your Highness, you must walk the rest of your way on your own. You were here not too long ago. You remember, don't you? They're coming for us. No matter what happens, you must keep running down this passage. Do not turn back.
Ooh, hello, hello. Hiya, Bob. She listens to the officer and keeps running. The path ahead is pitch black, but she is more afraid of the starlight glow chasing her from behind. She runs and runs for a long, long time. She's forgotten where she started and where she is going. She's almost cried all the tears she has, and the path before her is so long that she can't see its end. She runs and runs, and a huge golden mane appears beneath her. I can see why Vina forgot most of this stuff. Like, this is all very traumatic. She holds tight to the warm golden color, and it feels as though she too has become a wild beast dashing on all fours. At last, she no longer fears the nightmare that chases her. She cries for the things she has lost no more. Instead, she dashes forward freely in the darkness. And back to the current time, I believe. The phantoms have disappeared, and the memories recede like the tide. She finds herself standing in the middle of a long path. At the end of the path is a door. The door divides life and death, and whether it leads from life to death or from death to life, it opens only to the King of Victoria.
We're here.
What did I think of that background art? What kind of vibes was I getting? I mean, it seems like a standard vault to me. Ne'er to stop. Time to find out what's behind the thing. Time to see the sword. But yeah, seems like a standard vault. I would say we're doing a bank heist, but no, this is not a bank heist. This be getting the sword. The magical sword. 1920, boop. And then time to get more peoples out. I would say a healer, but no, I have problems. I gotta bring out Jen first. Actually, wait, I can put her over here. That's more fun. Go, Jen, go. And I should bring out a healer soon. I can see that thing floating there menacingly. And being healed would be great. Yeah, being healed good. Healing is nice. And then I'll bring out Susie. How far does his healing go? Yep, that's good. This works out nicely. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this works. Oh, look, it's a guy with a staff. Let me just bonk him right now. Boop. Yeah, that worked out nicely. And now, next person to come out. Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, look, it's more machinery. No fear. Oh, look, multiples are coming out. They're adorable. Bonk. Come on, enemies. Don't be scared. Boop. Yeah, this works out great. No fear at all. Go get him, Texas. So now I shall bring out Yato. Do a thing. All good. Pokemon enemies quickly come out. I am loving having Texas, Alter, and Kirin Yato on the same team. This is great. It's fun being able to spam them. I love it. I mean, it makes sense if Chapter 13 would have a lot of spoilers. Heck, I'm only on Chapter 11. So, heck, even Chapter 12 would be spoilery. For, like, watching the PV for it. And now, next part, please. Foo. How many parts is... Or how many sections are there in total for episode 11? I mean, I'm not gonna finish it tonight, but I'm just curious. I want to get halfway to the end if it's possible. Because I feel alive and well enough. I drank a pumpkin spice latte for the sugar earlier. 4 years ago. Oh, he's around 19? Ooh, not bad then.
Time goes by fast for your race and your country, compared to the Sarkaz. Not long after the Titan that was Gaul collapsed, Victoria and Lithanian feasted on its remnants as quickly and ferociously as they could. It has only been a few dozen years, and the Gaelic era has long since come and gone. You never witnessed Corsica 1's battleships and cannons. You never knew Lingana's prosperity and pride. The lands of your father's generation have been integrated into the territories of Victoria's most provincial nobles. The uniform you wear is that of a high-ranking Victorian officer. The medals you wear are all Victorian. You speak the most standard Victorian as the Londinier nobility do, without even the slightest hint of Gaulish accent. When you walk before me and claim that you want to negotiate with the Sarkaz, what gives you the right to call yourself Gaulish? Your Highness, Gaul has not a single city left. The man who stands before you is not a Gaulish man, but a Gaulish survivor. Some of us live in Victoria, some in Columbia, and some in Lithanian. We did not choose this exile. We've long been without a place to call home.
Also, Theresis, the thing about accents, you get them depending on how, like, this media around you, the people around you, like, if your family don't... Actually, no, I can't say that. If your family doesn't speak the accent, you're not gonna get it. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. Like, I can say that my accent is different from most of my family.
You wish to rebuild Gaul? Yes, just as you and other Sarkaz wish to rebuild Kazdel. 2 centuries ago, the Gaulish Empire's artillery battalion also surrounded the walls of Kazdel. And now you will speak of yourself in the same breath as the Sarkaz? Victoria was in that war against Kazdel too, and from what I heard, the reason you and the military commission were able to enter Londinium was precisely because of an invitation from Duke Cavendish. Then I'm certain you've heard what has become of him. 10 days ago, Duke Stafford stirred up an uprising in Londinium, and Duke Cavendish stepped forward to put a stop to his scheme. The Londinium Defense Forces joined the battle as well. Too bad. Neither Duke Stafford nor Duke Cavendish survived the other's cannon fire. I'm sure you know this better than me. The other dukes are all paying keen attention to Londinium's situation right now. No matter what you are planning to do within the city, you will need a new helping hand. That is how you will work with the Sarkaz. This is how you will work with the Sarkaz. Correct. As you can see, the Gaulish remnant will fully support all of the Kazdel Military Commission's activities in Londinium. In exchange, we only ask that you return the few Gaulish cities to the Gaulish rule in Victoria's forthcoming chaos. What good is my promise? A nation's destruction has nothing to do with the number of cities it has. I understand that, Your Highness, but we can't afford to wait for a more opportune time than this. I know a youth vanguard. He once served directly under the Gaulish Emperor's guards.
Oh, wow. Leto actually was negotiating. I didn't expect him to actually ask for I guess, an area for him and his boys. You know, good job, Leto. Take care of your boys. Yeah, of course they'd know each other. Kelsey knows everyone. She knows everyone and everything because she's built different. Though, Theresis, I gotta know more about him because my first impression, I thought he was gonna be the ultimate a-hole brat, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like he probably matured over the time. He doesn't seem that annoying.
When I met him, he was already 60-something. However, the guards had long disappeared during the Battle of the Four Emperors. He never got the chance to become a VX vanguard. He told me about the Spirited Emperor, their indomitable fleet, and the troops' idle conversations during mobilization. Over the decades, he has always insisted on telling his stories in Gaulish. Now, he lies in a small sanatorium in the deep borough of Londinium. I paid him a visit not too long ago, and he's already forgotten how to speak. Even so, whenever he sees Gaulish imperial-style architecture on the telly, his muddy eyes regain their former vigor without fail, and he lifts his spasming hand to clap. He'll be gone in no more than 5 years. The last generation of Gaulish men who have truly seen Gaul with their own eyes is dying. Your Majesty, you are right. Compared to the Sarkaz, our lives are insignificant. Our memories cannot be passed on through our blood. When the final witnesses pass away, our memories of Gaul will disappear with a wind like the Empire. When that moment comes, Gaul will truly be lost. All we can do is grasp at the ashes as best as we can. Ballistay, fire! Hold the ceiling layer. Do not let them any closer.
These offensive forces men, a tad bit stubborn, aren't they? Because their leader is still up there. These soldiers really respect their commander.
Commander, the Sarkaz are here. The Rhodes Island operators are engaged in battle with them.
Back them up. We need to draw the enemy's attention on this facade of a battlefield to the best of our ability to buy the doctor time. Thank you for buying me time, Clovicia. Yeah, that would make him more of a formidable enemy. Because he's not super bratty. Like, I half expected him to be like Mephisto. But no. I'm actually glad that he's not like that.
My guess is the mercenaries at Highbury died by your hands. War is imminent. Both you and I know it in our hearts. Ascalon, you were born and raised in Casdell. The general plucked you up from a corpse pile. The regent taught you to use a weapon, to defend yourself and your homeland. But now, at this moment, when all Sarkaz must stand together, what are you and those Sarkaz at Rhodes Island doing? Are you going to give our information to the Victorians, to a group of outbloods that once trampled upon Casdell? You betrayed the promise you once made. You betrayed Casdell. Casdell is several thousand kilometers from here. During the Civil War, you chose to become Babel's assassin. I couldn't stop you, nor did I have a reason to. After all, you were serving Her Majesty Teresa, the sole king of Sarkaz. But what do you serve now? A phantom of the past? The Civil War ended long ago, and now even Her Majesty Teresa has returned to our side. 4 years ago, you were the ones who killed her. And now you will sully her death so dishonorably. Oh? Who's the real traitor? Erg!
What do I remember of the Civil War? Nothing, because I lost all my memories. Ha ha ha. All I know is that I ended up in a coffin and that they had to rescue me, and then a lot of them hated me because they thought I killed Teresa, even though I have no memories of it, but it must have been me if they think that. Though the part between siblings, well, Teresa wanted to become allies with more people, while Edgy Bro wanted to just be with the sarcasm, for the sarcasm, all for the sarcasm. And that's why they were fighting, because he was being an edgelord. Ascalon's attack cuts through his arts. The two of them have been different since they were small. He learned much from the general, swordsmanship, military theory, and how to play political games, yet Ascalon remains as pure as the weapon in her hand. On the battlefield, she cannot be swayed by any words. Her eyes always focus on her highest priority target.
Leto! This blood.
A thick, viscous blood red color rapidly seeps out of the ground. It turns into a barrier harder than a wall, dividing Leto and Ascalon. Oh? Doctor, the drones have detected another squad of Sarkaz fighters closing in on our position. Does it give me dread knowing that Theresis is the one who taught Ascalon? No, that's good, actually. She technically learned from the best. That is great. And since she learned from him, she knows his tricks. But then, of course, he's gonna learn other things too while she's gone. So, we'll see how that goes. No, not just Sarkaz fighters. That surging red. Here comes the vampire. Oh, that beautiful, beautiful man. Have the cores and her operators keep their distance. Let Amiya and Logos know. Okay, Doctor. It's pretty much going exactly the way you said it would. He's heading straight for the top of the command tower. The vampire's twisted stubbornness is really giving away his movements. I won't be affected by that, will I? How are we doing with the drones? We gotta pick up the pace. How are we doing with the drones? Good news. This command tower is very close to the city walls. I've already located the best route to the control area. The modern communication methods that the defensive forces are using are much easier to take advantage of than all that witchcraft the Sarkaz use. I went and disguised my drone's identification codes. None of our long-distance signals will be jammed, guaranteed. Though, drones are very fragile. If they get attacked, that's going to be all our hard work down the drain. I just hope that Amiya can stall those guys who really know how to put up a good fight up there. I believe in Amiya. She's the best. Beautiful man, join my side.
You're weak and foolish, Liberi. You know a Sarkaz can easily end your life, and you choose not to run? I am the commander. This is my tower. My men. They're all still here. Perhaps I should consider cleaning them up first, then. These arts. The scent. Ah, I see. The foolish pretender is here. This is our first proper meeting, King of Sarkaz.
I've met you plenty of times before, vampire. Countless Self-Salvation Corps fighters sacrificed themselves because of you. I remember all their names, and their lives won't carry any less weight than they deserve just because you looked down on them.
So, what do you intend to do, King?
Well, he must be happy he finally gets to meet Amiya in person. And ooh, hello, hello.
Will you use that pitch-black axe of yours to end me?
Caster team, sniper team, join me and tear down his blood defense. No time to lose. Seize the target. All at once, black lines and bolts dart into the thick, blood-colored layer. Nothing has changed.
You disappoint me. Courteous, you assume the stance of a warrior, yet you deny the necessity of killing in politics. You're even weaker than Teresa. Teresa was a ridiculous one. She tried to have the Sarkats bow down to our invaders, namely Victoria. And the most foolish of her actions was undoubtedly her decision to make you her successor.
Focus fire!
What a pointless struggle.
Oh, lots of red. Disperse. Amiya's being serious. I respect that look in her eye. Right before the tide of blood reaches Amiya, it's suddenly sliced apart in one clean cut. Oh, it's the other beautiful boy.
I see. In addition to the assassin who was your vanguard, you brought another servant with you. I am Amiya's employee, not her servant.
Yeah, he's the best employee, the one who brought Mudrock to my side. So clearly he is the best. Thank you, Logos.
Banshee, are you perhaps afraid? You think, by hiding in that shell called Rhodes Island, you can refute your relationship with this counterfeit and escape Casdell's judgment on its traitors? Your words are always riddled with falsehoods, vampire. Although, only for the time being, I took off my Rhodes Island Elite Operator uniform the moment we decided to come to Londinium. I'm the Lord of the Banshees.
Oh, he's a lord of the Banshees. You know, that's a fun title. No wonder he had to get dressed up. I understand. You don't gotta wear the elite operator uniform. This is great. He is dressed for success, and he is going to destroy the vampire. I believe in him.
Wheresoever I speak, there lies the Elegia court.
The young Banshee raises his hand. On his dark-colored robe, his incantations quiver softly, like the first drop of dew dripping down under morning sun. Ooh! A male Banshee's already rare? Cool. Oh, and his Originium art is an oral type? He can cast it by speaking? I like that. Oh, he's kind of like that one guy from Jujutsu Kaisen. The one who uses spells by speaking. That kind of reminds me of that power. I forget his name though. All I know is he speaks using food.
It is not the crown that I follow. It is precisely Her Majesty Theresa's ideals that have driven me this far. You took her life and desecrated it. But you can't extinguish the flame that she lit before our eyes. How can someone who has seen daybreak return to an eternal night?
More Logos, more please. He's so cool. Though this is great, this is eye candy. The beautiful boys fighting each other. Though I should not get distracted by their beauty, how dare I? But I couldn't resist. I like how he's super loyal. He likes what they stand for, so that's why he's sticking with them. What a good boy. Thank you, Logos. Thank you for believing. And I gotta bring up more people to fight. I could start off here. Yes, indeed. That works out good. Now, Susie, come help us, please. Beautiful Susie, do a thing. I'm just checking out his healing range, then that way I can play his passenger. Yeah, it's all good. He shall be right here. Yes, he's here to bully everyone. Foo foo foo. And this works out great. Oh wait, I forgot there's another exit there, so let's just put Silver Ash down. He can protect. I believe in him. He's got this all on his own. What a good boy. Oh, look at that one just standing up there menacingly as one do. I shall bonk it. And there. All good. Hey. Yeah, this works out nicely. Oops, he went for the wrong ones. My bad. But it's still all good. Boop. Hey. Ta-da! Yay! Yeah, Logos seems fine even going up against Teresa. He likes her ideals and he knows that Rose Island is standing for what she believed in. And if he thought that for a moment we did not do the thing, he would probably leave us, which I would understand.
So this is...
The giant door lies solemnly in the underground area. There is not a sound to be heard aside from the breathing of those who have made their way here. Of course, death is silent. Not even the most glorious rain can change that fact.
The Mausoleum of Kings. Just as its name suggests, this is the resting place of all Victoria's kings. Do you hear something? Nothing besides our breathing.
There is no mistaking that there is some kind of sound echoing throughout this space. Is it a murmur she hears, having woken up from her dream? Or is it a groan she owes to her fatigue? They are staring at her. Victoria is staring at her. The moment she comes to realize this, a sense of agitation immediately follows. What do they expect? What kind of future are they envisioning for her? She grew tired of these days on the run long ago. And it has been a very long time since she had last heeded the call of that golden creature. Golden Mane.
Come. We need to finish this mission as fast as we can. Rhodes Island and the cores will need our help. Stop! What's this? On the ground?
Oh no, are there booby traps?
It's too dark here. I thought this was some of the upper crust posh decor.
Yeah, I thought this was some of that upper crust posh decor. Ah, yes, definitely. It's just their sense of aesthetic.
This is blood.
Oh, is it fresh?
Signs of a fight here. An utterly tragic battle. No, this place is a mire soaked in death.
A meandering trail of blood can be found having slithering down the pathway and past the gap beneath the floor. Or perhaps it crept its way out the large door. In just a second, I'm gonna sniff for a bit because I think I smell something good. Is it my house? Is it my neighbor's house? It kind of smells like... How would I describe it? If you've ever had a senbei. Yeah, it smells like a senbei. I don't have any food in my room, so I know it's not me. I wanna eat it. Oh, I am jealous. Okay, I should stop breathing in a lot because I'm gonna get jealous. My stomach's gonna scream. And whoops. A meandering trail of blood can be found having slithering down the pathway and past the gap beneath the door. Or perhaps it crept its way out the large door. The trail of blood has long since dried, leaving the shattered bricks in the ground covered in its twisted, dark crimson stains. Likewise, there are tattered boat heads, sword fragments, and craters left behind by art's explosions, all submerged under the bed of dried blood. There are also marks more massive in scale, such as the numerous scars on the door, each one by itself more than enough to tear the silence of this place asunder. Although there are no bodies to be seen, everyone who has seen war before can easily work out what transpired here. Two groups, both prepared to fight to the death, battled each other. Evidently, they got their wish. What happened to the bodies? There should at least be bones.
Judging from the color of the blood, this must be at least several years old. Several years? You don't mean... The Sarkaz. Sarkaz died here. I recognize their weapons. They're the same one the Sarkaz warriors who attacked the Knights of the Tower used all those years ago. They're different from what the Sarkaz outside are using. Completely different. The blades that the Sarkaz use now are all made in the munitions factories in Highbury, and they're very similar to the standard weapons used by the Victorian army. They're not as crude and nowhere near as barbaric. I still remember the sounds of their rusted blades cutting through my fellow knights. They were heavy, and they'd shatter bone before crushing armor. Dogda, are you alright? I'm fine. If the sight of these battle scars was enough to stop me in my tracks, I probably wouldn't have been able to manage a single peaceful night since my escape from Londinium. Vina, the situation's not quite what we expected.
The sound hurts her head. They are urging her. They are speaking.
The size of kings is still inside. Keep calm and carry on.
Vina probably isn't really listening to what they're saying because of the size of kings being like, come here, Vina. We're here for you. Vina, what took you so long? Vina, 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 Vina.
Who fought the Sarkaz? There's no way to tell. The other side left no traces. If they did, it's likely I haven't seen them before. Mr. Totter, how long has it been since you became a mercenary? It'll be my 14th anniversary next month.
Happy anniversary, Totter.
You must have seen weapons from most countries out there. Certainly, but not every country out there. I'm just your garden variety merc. I haven't seen the weapons of any particularly elite forces. If I had, I wouldn't be alive right now. Morgan, Indra, head back outside the path and stay alert.
Secure evac route, just like before, right?
I hope I don't miss out on anything good. Siege, we can't act rashly now. Do you hear the battle above us, Dogda? No. I do. This trembling. I can imagine it. I can't go back empty-handed. If the sword will stop all this, or even just ease all the sacrifice and slaughter, then I shall do it. I do not see this as a responsibility. It's just a tiny act on my part. It's nothing different from knocking out the front teeth of those thugs who come looking for trouble. Vina, Aludel, you said it yourself. Having taken this step, we can't turn back now.
I want to see what's behind already. Open the safe.
You look pretty cheesed. Humph. This was my chance to fight right beneath the palace. I just hope they don't actually run into anything that calls for a fight. You should know what a big sacrifice I'm making for you. If someone whacks you in one go, you've got to have a friend to yell for the others, right?
My silly Hannah. I love how humble Vina is. Even though she's a princess, she puts her besties ahead of her. She doesn't want to diminish the roles just because she's a princess. I love it. She's so sweet. It's not her story, it's our story, basically.
Do you remember how Vina looked when we first met her? How could I forget? She was real cocky. She was tiny, but she was full of herself. She hardly talked. You couldn't even tell when she was angry. But when she fought... Who do you reckon taught her how to fight? She said it was her teacher. And I thought she had some brawler from Norport for a teacher. When we found out about who she was, and it all made sense. Probably a knight with muscles for brains. Seriously though, aren't princes and princesses all meant to wear frilly clothes and have trouble running? What kind of teacher would have her fighting like she's facing a wild beast?
When she first told us who she was, I thought she was having a laugh.
Vina wouldn't kid about something where life and death is concerned.
I thought it was a new gang looking for trouble with Glasgow. But it turns out it was an operation to assassinate the heir of the throne. Huh.
They were pretty tough, though.
I thought it'd be a lot more fun to follow a crown princess on an adventure than living the thug life. Besides, this princess has got a special place in my heart. Before I knew it, we were following Vina out of Londinium, wandering the world with her, and making it back here. Now, if the heroes and the legends had a choice, they'd rather lie down on the sofa and gulp down a cold beer. Wouldn't you agree?
Having second thoughts?
Of course not. We've come this far already. I like the decision-making process. Oh, she's a princess. Let's follow her. This sounds entertaining. We're gonna go around for entertainment value. Yes, indeed. We will leave our place. I started on my memoirs already, and I'm going to make a huge with a book. It's called The Legendary Vina and Her Legendary Mates. All I need now is a publisher.
With your sorry vocabulary, forget it.
Vina said it was cool. This reminds me of that pub that we smashed the sign of.
That was the first battle we won, with Vina leading us.
That night, we drank all the booze in their cellar. In the end, Baird carried us back to the lorry, one by one, and drove us home before the police got there.
Are you bloody daft? I was the one who carried you on my back. Baird was so off her trolley, she tried to steer the loo. And you wanted her to drive?
All I'm thinking is, no matter where we are, we can still come together and make a name for ourselves, right? Even if it's just taking over a pub from the other gangs. And true, boredom is the worst enemy. Say, Hannah, we've been back for days already. Why hasn't Vina so much as suggested paying Glasgow a visit? Because they're on a mission. She's on a mission. She doesn't want to visit just yet. Save the best for last.
The key. Before we left, the doctor gave me this key. The doctor told me that Dr. Kelsey negotiated for this. Only this can open the door that leads to the Mausoleum of Kings. I know this key once belonged to a Draco. Allerdale, do you know where the other key is?
The other key. The key that belonged to the Aslan royal family. It too can open this door. And it should have been passed to her by her father. But she has never seen the key herself.
Why ask me that all of a sudden? I just remembered. Another legend about the size of kings.
With a sword in his hand, the Aslan Padishah tried to conquer the last swath of foreign land. The Draco King's fire arts flew straight towards him. His armor burned away in the flames, disappearing in purplish drops. However, his sword was far harder than his armor. The moment it pierced the Draco King's body, only half of the Aslan Padishah's sword remained. And so, the Draco King lived, and the Aslan Padishah lost his right hand. After the Draco and the Aslan signed the treaty, the sword was reforged, and it has since become the symbol of Victoria's centuries-long glory.
My ancestors once nearly killed a Draco King, and now I hold the key of the Red Dragon's descendants to open the door to the Mausoleum of Kings. Here, it doesn't matter whether one is Draco or Aslan. One is only Victoria.
Are we finally going into the vault? Show me the vault. The door opens. It is much easier than she imagined. It's so simple, as though everything was already in place, awaiting only this tiny push from her. Stare. Oh! I imagine those are probably giant. Giant statues of knights. The Mausoleum of Kings. A millennium of Victorian history surges towards her, the Aslan who left, only to return. Oh man, I can just imagine how dusty it must be in there. Oof, no one's been in there for so long. And it's underground, it's probably dusty and musty. Oof. I mean, it's fine. The earth shakes. Let's see what happens while the earth shakes. Stare.
These filthy rebels. They've been at this since Sudayan. Bring out that massive metal thing of yours. You mean, the self-propelled cannon? Sarkaz, there's still lots of our men up ahead. Send them a signal. Ever heard of danger close? You know how wide its attack range is? They won't get away in time. That's their problem. Our warriors know how to survive on the battlefield.
The earth just shook. Over there, a movable mechanical originium cannon. What the hell is this? That's no normal artillery shell. Did Castle have some kind of advanced research institute I never heard of? And in such a short time too. How did Manfred manage this? Have you found the control area with your drones yet? Focus. Have you found the control area? Control area. Crap, Doctor. These artillery shells have got arts that can jam my drones. Like I said, Londinium's system is easy to crack, but Sarkaz's witchcraft is tough. Doctor, we'll take it from here. Whoa, faced.
Everything's set the way you wanted it. The engineering team will make sure your drones will fly free.
You've got an idea?
Misclosure. These originium cannons were assembled in our factory.
So, you aren't planning on taking them apart right here and now, are you?
Haha. If we were vampires, we definitely could have given it a shot. Too bad. Most of us are just normal craftsmen. But we know what we've made with our own hands. We know how to target their weak points to create an opening for our friends, who can actually put up a fight. After all, this is how us engineers can put ourselves to use on the battlefield. Isn't that right?
The zipline. You're gonna climb onto that?
Your drones will function as normal if we get the cannon under control, right?
In theory. That's too risky, though.
We're working together here. I need you and the doctor to help us lock onto the safest landing point.
As the cannons echo in the air, Face focuses on the battlefield before him. He sees not the fierce Sarkaz, but the machinery by the conveyor belts he's the most familiar with. The thunderous sound of the enormous machine's movement is no different from the rhythms he knows so well. He will take back the city that belongs to them in his own way.
Phew. I've always wanted to see the battle from up above. Isn't this the perfect chance?
The giant machine ambles down the street. Compared to its colossal form, the men on the battlefield, be they Victorian or Sarkaz, are almost insignificant. Its footsteps cannot be halted. Its gaze can easily melt the blocks, and yo, look at the earth be shaking. It's practically the ruler of the steel jungle. Yet, it suddenly lets out a wail. From a blind spot in its vision, a dozen grappling hooks latch onto the weakest point of its neck. Immediately thereafter, several dozen figures climb onto its back via the zipline.
Doctor, we've got it under control.
Snipers, eliminate nearby hostiles.
Understood.
Casters, strike. On it. Look at them doing a thing.
Look at you, Banshee. You won't allow even a single drop of blood near you. Every drop you control contains your witchcraft. Oh ho ho! The curse of the Banshee. Since when had the Banshees been as boring and uninteresting as you? I still remember how they flew through the dark night, blowing their bone whistles. They mourned those lost to the wastelands with their sharp, sorrowful cries. At the same time, they mercilessly dug their pitch-black fingers into the skulls of those pitiful souls. Banshee. That is what a banshee is supposed to be. They've always been the hunters that the vampires admired the most. On the battlefield, we fought alongside one another with fear as our weapon, taking the lives of our feeble enemies. But the banshees of today have lost their way. Your kind has locked your true selves behind that attire, not unlike what the Lithanian casters wear. Decrepit and pretentious.
Mr. Sanguinarch, are you a boomer? He's like, darn kids these days. Back when I was back in my day, them banshees were like this.
I'm afraid you're the one who's lost your way, vampire. Time does more than relentlessly erode the lands. It shapes life as well. Why not take a look at yourself? Your form has long since changed. You are no longer as you were. Humph. What significance is the form my flesh takes? Your flesh, like my robe, is the true form in which we walk the world. The roots of royal court may have rotted away long ago, but royal court, as it stands today, with its canopy raised up high, remains unwilling to fall to the ground. How pathetic. That which is dead continues to draw nutrients from the barren soil, denying itself the chance to receive new life. So this is your true goal?
The smile disappears from the vampire's face. Next to him, the boiling blood settles into stasis for a brief moment. A faint tremor can be felt beneath the ground, before the floor above it starts to shake as well. Blood. Blood marches forward. Operators, hold!
The battlefield below us.
He suddenly realizes he has stayed here for too long. Leto is far from the only weak point in the command tower. While both he and the vampire had their attention drawn to the King of Sarkaz and their old acquaintances, Rhodes Island and the Self-Salvation Corps have very likely been drawing ever closer to the information they need. This was Rhodes Island's plan all along. They stood no chance of quickly defeating him and the vampire. They simply wanted to buy themselves time.
I must. You're too late.
Yes, he is. He can sacrifice an arm to escape from Ascalon, but the thing that's truly stopping him is a sea of blood before his eyes. The Sanguinarch has already been angered. They are all trapped on this battlefield.
Banshee, you dare to plot the destruction of the royal court, the very manifestation of Sarkaz heritage?
An earth-shattering surge of blood envelops the entire command tower. The Rhodes Island operators and the Defense Force soldiers are all moments away from being submerged. That is, until a shapeless force divides this red sea of blood. Ooh, close up.
I do this not for destruction, but for my salvation. Don't let your long memories bind you. Release yourself from your pride. From the olden days, old Sarkaz king.
Ah, yes. Gosh darn it, old man.
The Sarkaz have changed. The Sarkaz must change.
Under his bone pen, golden incantations write themselves loop by loop. Heeding its master's rage, the pool of blood rises from the floor, the walls, and his head and charges toward the unapproachable young Banshee, as well as those he is shielding. All because the Lord of Curses has already set the rules upon this high tower in a foreign land. Logos is so beautiful. Doctor, the command tower. The control tower. The situation's intense. I believe in Amiya, Logos, and Ascalon. Phew. Looks like they managed to stall that scary guy. Doctor, the drones have reached the control area. Gonna start hacking now. Give me an ETA. How long will that take? Half an hour. No, 20 minutes. Doctor, I know me and the chorus guys are having a tough time right now. Trust me. I wish I had a couple more pairs of hands too. The gigantic machine lets out another growl. Oh heck yeah, that is a powerful ability. That is super powerful. It also reminds me of another ability in a webtoon, a certain webtoon whose name that I forget. Because I'm horrible, I never remember the names of stuff for the most part. As long as it's in my tabs or my bookmarks, I'm like, hey, it's that series. It's a series where with the super duper OP protagonist who's been stuck in a tower for like 20 years and then came out being super duper OP and still the same age as when he went in. That series, yeah. The previously silent cannon begins to rev up again. What just happened?
The men in the cannon are under attack. There are hostiles in the distance. Gah!
It's a sarcasm.
No idea what kind of arts those sarcas are using. All of a sudden, I just couldn't breathe.
Theresis witchcraft. These sarcas are the guards. When one has one's life depleted by this witchcraft so quickly, not even medical arts can save them. Have face evacuate the cannon surroundings with our fighters. But then the weapon will go out of control again. Our men's lives are precious. I will destroy the berserk weapon.
Commander, I'm feeling much better. Commander, are these your arts?
No. This light is mobile. Compared to mine, yes, it's much warmer.
Look, someone just appeared behind those serious guards. Who's that? White horns, black robe. Is that a Theresis? The Theresis, she's fighting the other sarcas.
Doctor, that's Shining. Did you ask her to come here? Kelsey has kept in touch with her. Yeah, Dr. Kelsey talks to everyone. But she's doing this of her own accord. I knew how badass Shining could get, but this is my first time seeing her fight for real. How do I put it? I'm starting to understand why she avoids fighting so much.
Madam Theresis, you came to the fight after all. Once again, you went against our leader's will. If my actions are under his control, wouldn't that make my departure hardly meaningful? Do you really despise our leader so much? No. I've never despised him. I've only ever despised myself.
The guard's mask splits open, allowing his final expression before he succumbs to be reflected in the sheath of the Theresis' sword. Shining gazes at her opponent. Her eyes are both calm and sorrowful. Once again, the final flicker of a living flame has been burned onto her blade forever. Thank you, Shining. The mist of blood is rapidly evaporating under the power of the witchcraft. Countless beams of black energy are shot through the fissures torn open by the witchery. The tides of blood that shroud the command tower have receded a little.
Huh. Your swordsmanship, not bad. Your Highness, we must finish this quickly. Don't disturb me.
The blood's roar forces Manfred to take a few steps back. Ascalon's arm blade follows him closely. He knows she won't let him get away easily. A red bolt of lightning flashes across the clouds above the command tower.
This The tea call Wurtzen. Of course you know. Just as I know your arm blade. A signal. You're contacting him. Amiya, we don't have much time.
Right. As long as they bring Leto with us.
Watch your defenses. The vampire's power is far greater than this. What a waste of blood.
The battle before was far from enough to satisfy the vampire. He turns his attention to the Victorian soldiers hiding nearby.
What? You can't! It'll be fine, Leto, soon enough. I shan't even need to keep you alive. Lieutenant Colonel! Lieutenant Colonel! Nga!
The soldiers can no longer speak. They fumble their way to the vampire, as blood sprays out of their spines, one stream after another, heeding his orders from their arms and legs, marching forward rapidly. Oof, the boys! Not the boys! They have received the Sanguinarch's blessing.
Do it. To your heart's content. Blood doesn't dry simply because of death. It will only flow faster thanks to your futile actions.
His soldiers no longer follow his commands. He watches them advance and advance until they reach the edge of the rooftop. The Sarkaz's fight will soon destroy this place. Their eyes do not even see these normal soldiers who are in flux between life and death. Most of the soldiers are Victorian. They are of entirely different upbringings than him. They remain oblivious to his objective and the deal that he made with the Sarkaz to this very moment. They simply followed him here, to the edge. He knows he shouldn't have moved. The vampire and Manfred would have been in no hurry to kill him as long as he hid in the far back. But he still wanted to catch those soldiers about to fall to the depths below.
Ugh. Black energy beams.
Lieutenant Colonel Leto, I can feel pain in your eyes. You think of yourself a Gaulish man. You revere a massive phantom of the past. You want to take hold of it and bring it back. But do you really believe the Sarkaz's words? Do you really believe that your dream to rebuild Gaul is possible? You are afraid, sir. You pretend you still have control because you don't want to face the coward in you who wants to flee the war. You force yourself to believe that all the sacrifices you're making are for Gaul. But you can't forget the eyes of those men you've deceived. You called to their deaths.
You are the young Lord of Fiends they spoke of.
I am.
And I am your enemy.
At first I'd be like, if I met someone like Amiya, depending on her tone of voice. Because there's some people who act like they're know-it-alls, like, I know you. It's like, no you don't. Just because you've heard stuff about me doesn't mean you know me. But if she says it nicely, then I'd be like, are you a fortune teller? Like, are you some sort of fortune teller or a counselor? Is this an intervention? Or I'd be like, wow, she's so nice. It all depends on the situation and the tone of her voice and the way she says it. Cause yeah, I've met some people who are like, who think that they know people even though they didn't meet them, and I'm like, that's kinda cringe. Yes.
But you held me back. You don't want to see me die here. They call you the Lord of Fiends, the King of Sarkaz, but all I see is a kind, gentle girl.
See, just like Leto was saying about Amiya. It's like, she seems kind. An intense pain suddenly seizes her. This isn't the doing of the Liberi before her, nor is it the originium arts of the vampire or Manfred. After all, this isn't an attack. Amiya, oh Amiya. A voice calls out to her. A voice as soft as a snow-white feather quilt that has been set out to dry in the sun. Amiya lifts her head. Oh? Teresa, is it you? The sky above her comes smashing down. The thick dark clouds surge towards her, engulfing her from top to bottom. Like a tight, suffocating embrace. Where'd she come from? Assuming it's her.
Doctor, Commander, we've taken back control of the cannon.
10 minutes. Give me just 10 more minutes, and I'll take care of them all. I did not expect that. But then again, you know, Vina's been having voices in her head too, so... Amiya having voices in her head, understandable. Phew. Doctor, for the first time in these past days, I think we just might be able to win this.
Miss Closure,
What's up?
I really wish you hadn't said that.
You're thinking I must have jinxed it. Holy shit, Doctor. What the hell? My surveillance drone's alarms all started blaring at once. Closure. You jinxed it. Come on, say something. Going on quiet like this is really freaking me out. Wait. That's... my bestie monster. Growls in warning. Kelsey. Kelsey's back. She isn't buying us time. Doctor, you aren't trying to tell me the Notch Sarah came back early, are you? Their advance must have been silent. Otherwise, someone was sure to have noticed that they had broken through the walls and crossed half the city. These footsteps are nothing but a signal that penetrates the hearts of all those on the battlefield through the trembling ground. Every street their eyes can reach is filled with Sarkaz warriors. The shadows cast by the dark clouds above cannot engulf them. After all, they are the shadows, the dark shadows themselves. They are the ones who engulf the land. Oh my. The earth shakes for reals now. But hey, monster's here to help, and there's multiple trees. I will slightly ignore the trees because I feel like it for now. I mean, I'll fight them a little bit. It just bothers me how there's like a thing right there, but they can't walk through that, I believe. Yeah, they can't. Good. Oh, I should bring out a healer soon. You know, healers are good. They keep you healthy. And I like being healthy. Isn't being healthy great? Yes, indeed. Healthy is nice. I just keep on thinking they're gonna go from that other side. Like right over here. It spooks me. I won't deny the feeling of spookery. Spooky, scary Skelebro. But this is okay so far. I just gotta bring up more dudes. Yeah, this be fine. And then I put someone on the other side, so then that way there's no fear, indeed. Like, right here. Thank you. Thank you, Mudrock. You're the greatest. Oh, there's an enemy that can eat you and then you can't redeploy them until you destroy them. Oh, that is evil. Okay, that truly is pain and suffering. I don't like that. Bad eater. Like, I know my team be looking like a snack, but still. Don't mean you gotta be like that. Just because they be looking like a snack. No, no, no. I know, this is working out great. Get rid of the trees, please. Come on, passenger, do a thing. Just a few more enemies. He's got this. Heck, I can take Myrtle out and I can put in Texas to save the day. Thanks, Texas. Look at how cool Texas is. And then Yato comes to save the day. See, look at Yato being cool. Hoo hoo hoo. I'm not excited for these enemies. And I'll do one more since the estimate was like 19-ish parts. And I know that the ending is going to be like super duper long because that's how it usually goes at the end. Because epilogue stuffs. So I can do one more. Ooh, look who I get. I get Dogda. So I will do 16 and then go for a snack. I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. after all. Foo foo foo. Glorious hunting grounds. I'm just gonna look at the map real quick. Okay, there's those plus signs. That means I can get healed there, which I like. This'll be fine. Oh yeah, if you can check just in case, that'd be great. But yeah, this should be still good. Knowing how many stages are left, it's good to pace myself. Because I'm pretty sure I can do it for sure next time. AKA next week. Finishing episode 11 for sure. Oh wait, stupid me, I could put a block down. Silly me, did you forget that blocks are a thing? Wow, amazing, I love blocks. I want to defend this way, yes indeed. So I will put the block here. And Myrtle's just there to be cute. You can block that way, this is fine. And I'm gonna block right here. Teehee. Oh, look at you trying to go over there too. I love these blocks. I just want to make their lives a little bit harder. I could put them down ahead of time, but no. Right when they're approaching, I just gotta put the blocks down. That way they're annoyed the heck out of... Yeah, I can annoy the heck out of them. And it's just so satisfying. Like, look at them. Boop. Never mind. I just got trolled. Yep. I shouldn't have said that. He's like, what is this block doing here, bunk? These blocks can't stop me. Like, sir, stop it. I didn't think you could do that. That's cheating. That is cheating, sir. Oh, the one with the veil on them is the eater. Oh, that is spooky then. Good thing Yato can bonk from a distance. Yato will be super good. And Susie. Susie being able to do a thing because she's Susie is great. I believe in Passenger. He can do this on his own. Yes, indeed, Passenger. Do a thing. I'm just waiting for it to eat. I want to see the eating happen. I know I shouldn't want that, but I do. Curiosity will lead to my downfall. But for now, this is okay. Oh yeah. Oh, Yato was eaten, my bad. I wasn't staring at her. These statues. They're the kings of Victoria. Phantoms roam here. Not the spirits of the dead, but a shadow of history and memory. Alexandrina. Oh, that text is so tiny. Their voices become clear. They are familiar and warm, as though they came from a forgotten corner of her memory. Oh, okay, there's a total of 21 stages, so if I end on 16, there'd be afterwards 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, so about 5 afterwards. which is pretty good. Just like how her name was called with scolding and love when she lingered too long in the garden.
Alexandrina.
Just like how her name was called with anxiety and urging when she sneaked out of the palace to see what was outside with curious eyes.
Alexandrina.
Just like how her name was called with pride and approval when she swung her little wooden sword, dreaming about becoming a warrior without equal.
Alexandrina.
But who was calling her like this? And yeah, it's pretty much the end of chapter 11. I should be able to finish chapter 11 next week then. Foo, exciting.
The statues of the Aslan and Draco kings are displayed here. Here is your grandfather, Frederick III, conqueror of Gaul. By his side is his mother, Elizabeth the Glorious.
Yo, I wonder what she did to gain a title like that. Imagine being the Glorious something. All in the procession began treading lightly. She is searching. She knows it is fruitless, but her eyes cannot help but search. She stops before one of the statues. It was never finished, leaving behind only a rough silhouette. Chisel marks can clearly be seen, and an elaborate robe has yet to be liberated from the stone. Where the face should be, there is only a blur of rock with a slight hint of eyes. The crown of the head hints at the statue's position.
By tradition, originium arts is not used in the creation of these statues. They are the result of years of hard work by royal sculptors. His Majesty's passing was sudden. I know. His Majesty's burden was heavy, politically and tangibly. The Empire was saddled with war debts, and the declining Draco hardly welcomed continued Aslan rule with open arms. No matter how others might assess His Majesty, Father and I did not feel that he was inferior in any way to the kings who lie here. Perhaps Alardel. I don't remember. Maybe that's how he looked in my memories. Alexandrina.
Was it him calling, or all of them? The statues do not look the same. Some of them look solemn, others look kind. She finds no image of them in her memory, but feels some kind of connection with them deep down. The only ones who may style themselves Victoria are the monarchs of Victoria and the heir to the throne. Therefore, she is Victoria, just like them. She looks away. Nah, this is not long to finish the story at all. Oh gosh, Avalon's gonna just destroy me later. Oh man, I gotta do Avalon before that one event starts towards the end of the year. That's gonna hurt, but it's okay, it's okay. Compared to the vast and glorious Victoria, she is more familiar with the tiny taverns of Norport Borough, the scouting bitterness of cheap ale, and licking a sour lollipop after a fight. She turns away. In that moment, she spots a shadow behind the statues.
2 arms.
They all grab their weapons.
Looks like we found the ones who left the traces. Stark has bodies. Hundreds, if not more. Most have decomposed into skeletons, but their clothes tell us they were Sarkaz's royal court elites and Confessarius guards. Frankly, the word elite is an understatement. A fight with any of them would be a desperate struggle. Who are they fighting?
She feels Allerdale's breath grow heavy. Bronze continues to glitter in the shadows of the corpses. Even history could not rob them of their color. She keeps moving forward. The Knights of the Empire never back down. One after another. I'm just wondering how they got in here. So that means that the other key must still be here in Victoria, maybe? Swords, fire, corrosive arts. An entire suit of armor is covered in dried blood. Arts imbued pila over 5 meters in length impaled their torsos. They kept formation, they fought on. Nothing could defeat them, not the royal court, not the confessari. Not even death.
Yeah, they're huge.
Suddenly, she understands. She understands why the sound of steam has not been heard in Londinium for the past 4 years.
Steam Knights.
Allerdale stumbles. Siege extends an arm to hold her friend.
Are you alright? I'm fine. It's just the air. I think back to the steam armor of Cumberland's Manor. They were always offending, no matter the cost. They were Steam Knights. They carry the glorious banner of Victoria.
Depending, I want to see how this section ends.
No. No.
Why the nose, Vina? The noises screech, roar. Is it the sound of steam gushing when the knights charge? What is this emotion, so potent that it threatens to break through everything? She closes her eyes, the emotions confuse her, but the conclusion is clear.
They were betrayed.
What?
It's clear from the layout of the bodies that the Steam Knights were the attackers, and the Sarkaz were the defenders. Ridiculous, isn't it? This isn't a story of how the Steam Knights defended the symbol of Victoria to their last breaths, in the face of an overwhelming Sarkaz tide. It was a trap. The knights stumbled into an ambush that the Sarkaz prepared for them. An ambush that the Sarkaz set in the Mausoleum of Kings. Sacrilege!
How did the Sarkaz get here?
The key to the Mausoleum of Kings is only... No. We handed it over to them. The traitor, Duke Cavendish, or the clown, Duke Stafford. No. No Steam Knight has been seen for 4 years. They were all here. 1 or 2 dukes blinded by ambition could not recall all the Steam Knights to Londinium. They were betrayed by all of Victoria.
The burning palace, the golden mane. She could not shake the images ever since she set foot within. She hears the angry roaring of a man, plots being whispered in the shadows. She hears laments and curses. I feel bad for the Steam Knights being forced here and then slaughtered. Frenzied cries, fateful announcements. Roaring, scolding, sobbing, sneering. She hears drip, the sound of tears falling.
Siege. These Steam Knights.
Dagda tries her best to suppress her sobbing. The girl who calls herself a knight has never cried, no matter how desperate the situation is. But now, tears are flowing down her face.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Why?
Siege walks up to her and puts her arms around her trembling shoulders.
I'm sorry, Dagda. I was wrong. Victoria's more than just Parliament and the nobility. It's you and me as well. There's still people willing to cry for them. We don't have too much time. But if I'm still king to you, then let me give you an order. Just this once. Dagda, Knight of the Tower. Salute these men who held their glorious banner high, even after they were betrayed. Salute them as a knight would, on our behalf. "30, 31, 32. So many suits of armor.
Well, I don't blame the sarcasm in this case. I blame the Victoria. They're the ones who sent them there. The one with the key would have had to let the sarcasm in to set up an ambush. And the one who told the Steam Knights to go there had to have been someone high up. So this was definitely a setup. They all died here. Her gaze sweeps over each and every suit of unmoving armor. She salutes them one by one. Even though those within died years ago, even though she is holding a strange metal claw rather than a ceremonial sword, she performs the proper rites in accordance with tradition.
You're a knight too.
I was. I used to be a knight of Victoria, just like them. A knight of the tower.
Many see it as no more than a noble title.
Yes, we've had no one left to defend ever since His Majesty left us. Silly, isn't it? A bunch of pompous knights guarding an empty palace. All of us, as we stood upon the tower, knew that the palace behind us was empty. We would only see lights coming from the city in front of us.
I've heard you're the heir to somebody important. But it sounds like being a knight of the tower isn't a particularly attractive job.
My mother was a Countess of Manchester, but all my family has left is a lonely manor in a border city.
Your mother loved you. She left you with a backup plan. She thought that you would be safe with the Knights of the Tower without a king to protect.
My master told me that a king would return, and the Knights of the Tower would wipe away their shame. Until the Sarkaz army smashed open the doors of the tower with their weapons.
The Sarkaz didn't do anything to the palace, at least not openly. They didn't want to give anyone excuses. But they couldn't tolerate the existence of the Knights of the Tower.
We tried. The bulk of the Knights of the Tower went with His Majesty. All that was left was a few Master Knights and a bunch of self-exiled pariahs. But we tried. We brought shame upon ourselves once. We couldn't do it again.
You weren't born when the old Lion King was hanged. Don't put this burden upon yourself.
But I swore an oath. I was one of them, even without the king's blessing. They tricked me. They decided that I was to live before they made their final charge. Master Finn was seriously injured when he sent me out of the tower. I could see blood seeping from under his armor. I'd never seen such an expression on his face. He said it was liberation. He said it was an end to regret and guilt, an end to the long years of a noble existence. He never asked what I wanted. I wanted to die with them.
Life can't be so easily thrown away. Dying is simple. All it takes is one bolt, one thrust of a blade, one infected wound, one tiny piece of active originium. Living is hard. Living is a constant struggle against the feeling that dying is a way out. You've walked a long road and made good friends. You didn't let your elders down. You did well.
The veteran mercenary pats Dagda's shoulders. It's the touch of a stranger, but it reminds her of the warmth of her long-dead comrades. How their palms gently touched her head and shoulders like this, time and again. Aw, it's cute how Totter is comforting her. She never had the chance to mourn them, all those years away from Londinium. The war is not over. It is not yet time to reminisce. Though dang, Dagda, she is very dedicated to her comrades, indeed. Like, if I was told to run, I'd just be like, okay, bye. But she's like, I wanted to stay with them. But as she gazes upon the broken armor of the Steam Knights, all the memories of the last battle of the Knights of the Tower gush to the surface. She does not understand, why is the end always like this, when there are so many people who love this land? Why must heroes fade away quietly in the dark? Why are they never triumphant? She can't take it anymore.
Cry if you need to. The others can't see with me standing here.
Oh, Totter, what a good boy. Sob, sob. The suits of armor remain silent around them.
You look nervous, Aludel. Do I? I wonder. How do you feel about the Steam Knights? They couldn't stop what happened 26 years ago. I don't know, and I don't really care. But someone by the name of Gawain told me that there were no Steam Knights in Londinium at the time.
Ah, Gawain! I was thinking of our son boy in Fate.
Parliament sent them away, but they did nothing when they returned. What do you think then, Allardell? I can tell you really revere the Steam Knights. Revere? I don't know if I can say that. I'm just thinking. Sir Charles Lynch was the last Steam Knight to be knighted during His Majesty's reign. There were no new Steam Knights in the 2 decades following. Was it a warning? Or the price of a struggle that no one knows about? Did the dukes have their blades pointed at each other's throats? Perhaps the betrayal had already started by then. I can't imagine what kind of slow death it must have been. Victoria killed itself.
The voices mutter in protest. Siege pretends not to hear and repeats calmly but strongly.
Victoria killed itself with its own greed, ambition, and desire. Will you wipe the slate clean, Your Royal Highness Alexandrina?
The voices fall silent. They're waiting for an answer too.
I'll do what I must.
And okay, I'll do stage 17 then. I shall do it for the cliffhanger. Answer me. Oh! I see a familiar face. It's my ex-wife. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Oh no! A forced team. The only one that I ever really use is Perfumer. I've used Fang a few times, I've used Kura a few times, I've used Manticore a few times, but everyone else, oh no. I mean, this is fine. No fear. No fear, no fear.
Bloody hell! These new lads are tough. We'll charge together. Ready, set. Grab me. No, stay back. Get away from the dead. What's going on?
A strange aura permeates the battlefield around the fallen soldiers. Something seeps out from their skin, their eyes, their ears, their noses. It is not blood, it is nothing tangible. Perhaps it is fear. The fear of what comes after death. An unsurmountable fear that is rapidly draining their life force.
Get back! Arg! I can breathe again. Thanks! You're from Rhodes Island. A doctor? Closure called you a doctor, right?
I'm pretty sure I'm on story mode difficulty. Yeah, I should be. Yeah, I am. The cost is 0, so I must be.
Everyone, get behind me.
Is this witchcraft? The smell reminds me of the Wendigo altar.
All ancient Sarkaz witchcraft comes from the same place. Death. Wendigo, Notchzerer, vampire, gargoyle, lich, even the banshees. Death is the end for most living things, but the source of power for many Sarkaz.
Your sword stopped the corruption from spreading?
Life and death have always been 2 sides of the same coin. But there's only so much time I can buy. We can't stop the armies of the Notchzerer, even if it's only his vanguard here. The ancient Sarkaz slithers on the battlefield, driving death and decay before him. I've only heard legends. We must hurry.
I know. Kelsey gave the signal to retreat. Urgent screech! Recall the drone's closure. Guess there's no other way. Transmitted data, 70%. It'll have to do. Faced, go find Clovicia.
Alright, Doctor. Everyone, follow me!
Rhodes Island, follow Monster. Rhodes Island, cover course retreat. We shall follow Monster, my bestie.
Yes, Doctor.
And Amiya's group. Inform Amiya, Ascalon, and Logos. No response. Your call goes unanswered. Something is not right. Amiya's not in the habit of ignoring you, even in the middle of fierce fighting. PRTS does not show the status of operators, but you realize that she is in great danger. Amiya? Not my bestie. Arg.
The Notch there arrived early. Time to move. Dr. Kelsey was quick enough. Delaying the Lich is all she can do. The Notch there army is far more organized than any other Sarkaz faction. They will move quickly. Amiya?
Retreat? No. They cannot. The vampire's blood shackles can be cut. The Notch there's deadly corruption can be resisted. But there is no way to avert the dark cloud's gaze, as long as they remain on this land. There is no place untouched by the anguish and wrath of the Sarkaz. Countless voices rush into her head. She hears children who lost their parents to war sobbing as they walk amongst the ruins. She hears a dull clunk of a young soldier's sword as it meets the head of an enemy for the first time. She hears a banshee facing a deformed city, chanting incantations that he had just learned on the silver moonlight. She hears a vampire chuckle alone in a canyon, turning the enemies charging towards the Sarkaz settlement into a sea of blood. She hears the dead souls in the sky screaming towards the earth. Why do we have to die? Because we were Sarkaz? Black lines surge uncontrollably from her eyes, ears, and mouth, stretching and entwining. For an instant, all the Sarkaz feel their hearts grasped by the black strings.
Don't be affected, Amiya.
What happened, Doctor? I thought I heard a sound. Muffled Sarkaz tribal language. The earth is filled with darkness. Darkness gives birth to evil. Evil brings pain. Muffled Sarkaz tribal language.
What's Closure saying? I don't understand.
I don't know. I feel dizzy. What's happening in my head?
Is this Sarkaz witchcraft, Doctor? But I don't feel anything. Hey, look at the enemy. Darkness. Pain. Share.
I've heard these words before. I've heard a similar language before. I think I've heard these words before. It's a kind of hypnotic suggestion. It's unorthodox arts. It's a hypnotic suggestion. Doctor, retrieve the cores and the other operators immediately. But Amiya! Shining. You're affected too?
A rampant power is eating away at the souls of all Sarkaz. Not even a Confessorius can repel it, even if I can resist it for a while.
Rampant power? Could it be?
Only the sovereign of the Sarkaz can use the hope of her men as consolation, and punish traitors with their deepest fears. Only the king of Sarkaz. ... I know what you're thinking, Doctor. You're wondering which king is attacking all the other Sarkaz indiscriminately.
Amiya is in danger. That's what I'm most worried about. Whether Theresa's responsible for it or not. I am worried about Amiya. She is my bestie. She is the one I keep on my loading screen because Amiya.
The power of the king of Sarkaz. How can an untrained vessel contain millennia of our racial memories? I see. You cannot contain it. The rings you wear in your hand came from Teresa. You thought it would trap both the blessings and the curse, but you forgot what was given can be taken back.
Thank you, Ascalon.
You must have noticed, Ascalon. His Highness is affecting Amiya. We can't afford any delay. The Notch-Zera and Theresis may appear at any moment. We must take Amiya away, by force if necessary. Amiya.
The rings do not crack or change color. They are trembling because she is.
Courteous, you're not worthy of the crown that Teresa bestowed upon you. Not because you are not Sarkaz, but because you have never tried to understand the nature of the Sarkaz. Like Teresa, you have been blinded by the creature that calls itself Kelsey. You thought the Sarkaz a race linked by blood, like the felines. You thought our wrath residence to injustice. You thought our struggle a conflict between nations. But are they truly so? Look, my vengeance in the eye, King of Sarkaz. Listen to the lamentations in the clouds above your head. They will tell you that the Sarkaz were never the same people as the shameful invaders. The elders and the ancients were never the same people. Kazda was never a city nor a nation. When the Sarkaz were known as Tikaz, when they still had a home, Kazda meant the entire world that we saw before our eyes. Kazda was Terra.
Do I think that's arrogance or something else? This is the ramblings of an old man. He's literally being like, back in my day, this is what the lands are like. This is what the people are like. Kazda was Terra back in the good old days. Like, oh, vampire man. Get with the times, I mean nothing. Infinite sorrow engulfs her, binding her, suffocating her. Dark clouds fill her vision, no matter where she turns. How can she escape? What would it take? She can only listen. Ooh. A Sarkaz scales the city walls. Behind him, a city of gray iron. Above his head, a black banner. Wounded warriors line up before him. Young Sarkaz about his age, but untrained, guard the city walls with rusty swords in their hands. Countless compatriots stand behind him. Some old, some young, many with nothing more than bows and arrows for hunting. The enemy has tread the barrens and come before their city. They hear the staves of the spire casters cut through air. They hear the Gaulish gunners directing their Originium guns. They hear the heavy footsteps of steam armor, and the gushing of steam as they charge. Ooh. I wonder who the mysterious green person could be with those, I think cat ears. And their hair looks white. I wonder. They hear the wind blowing the commander's robes, and the cold and dull sound it makes when it hits armor. Who is the feline? Steam Knights stand before her. Is she a Victorian general? But the Spirecasters and Gaulish gunners obey her call. They hear her pass judgment upon the Sarkaz. I know all that the Sarkaz are planning. Hatred is a sickness that cannot be cured. Your vengeance will bring wounds to the land that can never be healed. Ambition must be culled while in the bud, for the peace of the world for the next 200 years. Fire rushes towards Kazda from all directions. Another Kazda was reduced to ruin. Countless Sarkaz die in the conflagration, But a worse fate awaits those who survive it. Why did I have to die? Because our origin was different? Must we be eradicated simply because the land could not stand our hatred anymore? 6 heroes rise from the ruins. They charge the great army before them, carrying the burning banner of Kazdel. No Sarkaz dies willingly. The screams of tens of thousands of Sarkaz who fell become war drums for the heroes as they charge the enemy. Answer me, enemy. Who are you to decide that Kazdel must be destroyed? Who are you to judge a Sarkaz? Why do you not speak? Why do you not answer? Kelsey. The walls of Kazdel are falling. So are the dead Sarkaz with ash and rubble. She is falling. Alright, it's beginning to clear. I can see again. Wait, on the tower. Amiya. I feel like she's like, okay, Amiya, you're finally old and mature enough to know more about my people. Here you go, Amiya. See what happened. You can now learn about the past. And now she's helping to educate Amiya. Here's a history lesson, Amiya. Closure, your drone. The assassin delays the vampire. The caster slows the falling. Plus, she's the only one who can show Amiya that. And since Amiya and her are getting closer to each other, like physically, it's like, oh yes, time to show Amiya a thing now that she's in my range. You fly across the battlefield on the zipline, pulled along by the drone. You grab Amiya's hand and pull her into your arms just before she hits the ground. Kelsey. Doctor. Doctor? Why is Amiya saying Kelsey's name? You see tears of sorrow in the corners of Amiya's eyes, and fury in her furrowed brow. What did she see? What did she hear? Crap, Doctor, something's coming up fast. What the heck? It's so close. Where is it? No. It was there all along. What? A silhouette. A Sarkaz watching you silently. He lacks the thick malice of the vampire, the proud contempt of the Confessarius, or the fearsome aura of the Notchzerer. He even lacks the Wendigo's imposing stature. Just one Sarkaz, no army, no servants. He rose from his throne, laid down the authority that he never truly cared for, and walked here. Oh, my door opened, scared me. It was about dinner. Apparently there's barbecue chicken. Nice. Just one Sarkaz, no army, no servants. He rose from his throne, laid down the authority that he never truly cared for, and walked here. But Theresa's decision to show her that now... Well, Amiya was in a precarious situation with the vampire and Manfred, so in a way that kind of saves her. Plus, the Notchzerer King is about to get there, so it's better to leave, like, immediately. So might as well find a way to make Amiya leave. Let's show her a vision. We're gonna teach her about history, and then have the doctor come in to save her, because she knows me well too. With a cold gaze not seen for 2 centuries. His sword is right before your eyes. You can see it before you see his face clearly. Amiya will die, so will you, if you do not let her go. He came here with one goal, to kill the King of Sarkaz in your arms. Get out of here! A familiar silhouette cuts in front of you and Amiya. Fiend howling! Oh, monster! Red warm liquid splashes onto your face and your hands, which are still holding a Mia.
Kelsey?
Kelsey! You cry without even thinking. She is dying. She may die this instant. You've never felt this possibility so clearly before. Dr. Misaki Nobunaga, take Amiya and go. Furious Warrior. I believe Kelsey's fine. She's the ultimate medic. She's immortal. Kelsey. All the effort could only deflect the unremarkable sword by inches. I'll eat in a bit, wait. Can you put it like on a napkin or a plate for me, please? Thank you. All the effort could only deflect the unremarkable sword by inches. Closure pulls on you desperately, while you continue to hold Amiya in your arms. The drone rapidly pulls you back, while bloody Kelsey remains in front of you. Theresis. I didn't expect it to be Kelsey that got slashed, but I can see her doing that. She wants to protect Amiya. Weak struggle.
You decided to stand against the Sarkas again. I saw you were born by Theresa's side 200 years ago. The culprit responsible for Kaza's destruction, the immortal who tamed history. You did many things for her, told stories of fantastic realms that we could never see. It's a shame. You're just accelerating destruction. Dr. Kelsey, you can't. Ugh. I know.
No, please, no. Can you just put the food right over there? Yes, thank you. No food on the bed. There's a mouse in the house. I got freaked out. Food was gonna be put on my bed, and I do not appreciate that. No, not at all. But it's all good now. The food was brought to me, so yay.
I know. Better for Sarkas to head toward destruction one step faster than to be robbed of the right to exist by your cruel machinations. No. You don't have the strength to talk. It was impressive that you intercepted the Lich's messenger. Not even the military commission has found any trace. But it's clear that it was not an amicable conversation. As I warned you once, I'll kill you again, Kelsey.
Again? Kelsey, how many lives do you got? Then again, she's a feline. She's got 9 lives, right? That again, though. Oh man, having to use a force team hurts. It is the ultimate oof situation. Wait, I gotta steer her range, I forgot. Silly me, do not put down the monster. Or the monster should not be. Yeah, silly Misaki, what are you thinking? Okay, monster go here. I miss Myrtle being here to help me do a thing. I need more cost. Man. Kelsey just built different. Oh, I hate this with a passion. Indeed, I hate this with a burning passion. So much rage. And having to bring a specific type of team. I don't like it. I hate these kind of stages. They hurt me. Emotionally and physically and everything in between. No! This is sadness. Oh, so much rage. Goodbye. I gotta redo this eventually, maybe. Oh, so much hate in my soul right now because of this. Yeah, I just gotta survive. Surviving is good. I can do the thing. I can live. You know, living is death to live. Oh no. No, no, no. Please, sir, don't do this. No. You just like not. Please don't do this. No. No, no, no. Please, no. This is okay for now. Yeah, for now, maybe. Oh, so much pain and suffering. Eee! And yeah, he'd just be standing there menacingly. I'm glad that he's not, though. Not anymore for now, but I don't want to see him again right now. At least until I have a team that I set up myself. Forced team supports are just oof. Please live. No! The little sound effects are cute. But no! There's still hope. We got this. Gosh darn it. Uh-oh. Is he bad? Oops. So survived! So yay! Ha ha ha! I mean, of course he'd go after Kelsey and then leave. Understandable. Doctor, we have to take Amiya and go. Shining can't hold Theresis off for long. The drone. Grab the zipline, Doctor. We'll go as far as we can. I'll punch them, if worst comes to worst. I don't like fighting if I can help it. But Teresa pulled me out of the attic. Of that attic. Amiya and Kelsey taught me responsibility. I'm a vampire too. If it's for you,
Closure, over here!
Huh?
Time to move, Doctor. The zipline's ready. Give me your hand.
Thanks, Beast. I am not sure what Teresa is probably thinking and feeling right now. A burst of light explodes as a sword pierces the ground. Time stops in an instant. But if she's not stopping Theresis right now, that just means she knows it's all gonna work out. Totally.
Confessorius witchcraft. General. Dame Kelsey. She approaches the end of the cycle. Rose Island's goddess was rescued. The Sanguinarch of Vampires is pursuing the Banshee in Ascalon. What of Teresa? I just received Her Highness's signal, General. It's ready. Good.
The Regent looks up at the overcast sky, and the walls in the distance. The true battlefield of the Sarkaz lies beyond the walls.
It's time to begin.
End of the cycle, though. Kelsey! How many cycles you got, girl?
Are you ready? There's nothing to make ready. Right, we're finally here. Vina, we must bear witness to all this.
An elaborate black structure lies at the end of the tunnel. Generation after generation, the greatest minds in Victoria came together to build it. All this just to hold a sword. If few are heroes who can use it to conquer catastrophe, then let humanity use its wisdom to raise a shield against the storm. These structures, the entire building was made for this. The voices rise up again. The calls are no longer urgent, no longer sharp, no longer attempting to persuade or incite. She feels a tired sense of peace. She has been here before. She has been guided to this place long before her memories took shape. Just like then, she knows where she must go, what she must take. It is right there in the middle of the room, unguarded. So unremarkable, it might as well have been a tiny decoration in this grand building. Ooh! The sword! Kind gassy Kath. The size of kings. It lay there and continues to do so over the centuries, through countless reforgings. Siege extends a hand towards it. Broken shadows fill the space, rising and ebbing, resonating. Why they became besties even though they were on opposing sides at one point? Well, I guess Teresa must have liked what Kelsey was selling, and she bought it. Like, ah, yes, you know, she makes a good point. Brother, should we join them? Like, sister, how dare you? We do not believe in that stuff. What is the power of friendship and yada yada yada? It's like, okay, bye, bro. I'm gonna go off with her. Or they could have had a Romeo and Juliet kind of relationship. Opposing sides. But fell in love nonetheless. I would say without the tragic ending, but we know what happened. Alexandrina Vina Victoria. They whisper her name. She touches a sword. Shards of days gone by pass through her body. She hears a boom in her mind. Suddenly, she understands. She is the source of all those visions and sounds. They are her doubts, confusion, regrets, recollections. Things she had forgotten, and things she intentionally forgot. A great hand raises her. Londinium stands up from beneath her, taking her across the land of Victoria. The land that she and her friends walked. Countless voices is superimposed upon one another. Victoria. This is Victoria. Her Victoria. Vina. The voices call out. Siege opens her eyes. There are no illusions now, no tides. She holds in her hand the size of kings, symbol of the Victorian monarchy. There is little to show that it is a sort of legend. It is unremarkable in size and design. It looks like an ordinary sword. You have the size of kings, Vina. It's later than I expected. Let's go. Time to go home. Siege wants to turn around and feel the sword's warmth with her hands. And with her friends. Don't. But she feels the colder blade in her back. Aludel. Please, don't. Don't turn around. Give me the sword. Your Highness Alexandrina, I'm sorry. I have to do this. Aludel's voice is calm, but filled with a terrible, resolute sorrow. Siege recalls the memoirs that Morgan wrote in jest. A handful of pages, clumsily written, with less than elegant vocabulary. The story starts with a fictional fight. Everyone returns to the base after the fight. Aludel makes a cream stew for them in the story. She laughs in her heart. Aludel made a stew, yes. But what the memoirs omitted is that it did not exactly taste great. Siege. Oh. Don't move. You too. I don't want to hurt you. But I have a debt to pay. Our mission is to help Aludel remove the sword from the Mausoleum of Kings. I'm guessing that Allerdale wants to be the one to use the sword and fight everyone instead. Because if Vina's on the front line, she has a chance of dying, and because she is the king, the future king, or the rightful heir, they can't let her, go poof on the battlefield. I'm assuming it's going that way. That is my first impression. But yeah, Totter's just doing his job. He's like, Dogda, I like you as a person, but no hard feelings. This is my job. I got paid.
Finish this job and I can retire.
See, look, money. I understand.
It was an offer I couldn't refuse.
We just mourn the heroes who fell victim to betrayal together.
I thought you would understand, but in the end, you're no different from them. I'm ashamed I thought about trusting you, even for a moment. Like I said, living is hard. I'm sorry. I want all of us to keep on living. I'll try to make sure we do just that. We've both been pushed out of death's way by our friends. Unfortunately, our paths happened to diverge this time. Allerdale, Your Highness, please hand over the size of kings for your own safety.
See, look, her own safety. Allerdale's like, nah, we can't have you perish on the field. If anything, I will be the one. True, she probably thought that Tade would just join them, but he wants to retire. He's been working as a mercenary for 14 years, or almost 14 years in a month. So I understand. But then again, just based on how I was able to bring him to my Rhodes Island, I feel like he wasn't paid in the end, maybe. And that's why he's working here. Or maybe he's just bored of retirement, and that's why he came to Rhodes Island, right?
Is this the only way? I betrayed your trust. There's nothing I can say about that. You can admonish me, reproach me, try to defeat me. You have the right to do so. But I will leave with a sword. This is my destiny in Londinium. You said the size of kings would protect Londinium from the storm. I don't want to drag Londinium into the abyss either. I won't let her fall into Sarka's hands. Into the hands of the dukes, then. Whoever's behind you wants to use the size of kings to intimidate the other dukes and subjugate them. They don't care about protecting Victoria. We may be meek, but we're in the middle of all this. With the people who have been hurt and abused. I know what she's after, but it doesn't concern me. I only care about what I can actually influence. What about the Self-Salvation Corps? You built it with Clovicia. You protected it with your honor. I have no honor. Then you protected it with your life. What do I tell the Corps fighters if you're really going to leave? Clovicia will handle it. I no longer have the strength to care about what they think of me. You claim you only care about what you can influence. Aren't you underestimating what you already have? What does one dare to have when you know it's only a matter of time before you lose it? What does one dare to reveal when what everyone trusts and respects is just an illusion?
Oh gosh. If she was affiliated with Iblana for the third party, I'm actually into that. I want to see what would happen if she uses a sword. Actually, no, I want to see both her and Vina use a sword, just to see, like, the difference of what would happen. I imagine the power would change depending on the wielder. Yeah, that'd be cool.
What does one dare to reveal when what everyone trusts and respects is just an illusion? What can one hold on to when you realize this is the one and only end of your path? This isn't even the outcome of a choice. I simply ended up here. Fate has pushed me to this place before I even realized it. We could never have walked together. We met when we were little, didn't we? At Cumberland Manor. I thought you had forgotten. I almost had. I was with Gawain that day. The creature that was like the sun told us that we would meet again someday. But he could not have guessed that it would end this way. You won't give me the sword, Vina. Then swing it. We must bear witness. Allerdale, remember my promise? Enough. Say no more.
Oh, sir, I feel bad for Allerdale. She's just over this. She pretty much just lost everything already.
I carry nothing on my shoulders. I'll just be your brain, trust. Sorry, I forgot you had Morgan. I'll just be a thug then. We'll bomb the Tharkas camp together. You light a fire and I'll kick the commander's arse once there's smoke. I'm joking. I know. My path is long determined, Vina. Why do you say that? You're still with us. The Glasgow gang has more stories to write. So, the answer is yes. I'll make sure you come back unharmed after kicking that commander's arse. That's my promise. It's not a joke. Never has been, never will be. We'll all make it out of this in one piece.
A sound breaks the stalemate. Was it an illusion? Siege looks around. The massive statues remain still in the shadows. None of the dead Sarkas come back to life. Again, nearby, right in front of her, the sound of steam gushing, increasingly rapid, increasingly loud, increasingly clear, until it fills the entire space. What's that? Allerdale's heart skips a beat. She can feel it. The premonition of fate echoes again cruelly. Ooh! Mysterious steam knight's gonna appear? Time to find out next week! I gotta eat the food that was brought for me. Also, that's a good cliffhanger, you're right. Foo. Thank you. I bet the food will be good. I still can't believe it was brought to my room. I'm happy about that, but at the same time, don't put food on my bed. Please, no. I don't want to have to wash my bed sheets, like, before ants appear. The ants in my house bite. They bite hard. They hurt me. So no ants, please. No. Thank you. Next week for sure, I will finish episode 11. I feel satisfied. Dr. Kelsey should be alright. She can live forever. Yes, indeed. I believe in her. She's immortal, basically. It's just a flesh wound. Yeah, totally. And I shall bring Mia to safety. I will protect my bestie as best as I can. So thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and epic gacha luck. I shall eat my food happily now. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. I am in awe how dinner was brought to me. That's either a good sign or a bad sign.